So we'll call the meeting to order. We'll do a visual roll. Do I need to, nah, do I need to do anything for her? No.
No, you have a forum here anyway.
Mary's on video. I have no remarks. We have some anniversaries.
We do, we have
Yay.
three great anniversaries. Let's start with Jim Teal.
That's me.
So Jim is our stationary engineer, lead stationary engineer in Public Works.
Yeah, we lost a lot of
Yeah, well,
them. They
you know what?
retired.
In Public Works, we're very stable in there, and half of the reason is because of Jim. He's been there for 20 years, been doing that since day one. Our Woodridge, Millwood, all the stormwater facilities, all our water facilities, basically super dependable, does a great job. And I was talking to Sean this morning, and always comes in happy, says hi to everybody, and more importantly, I think for everybody, bringing food like almost every other day for everybody. So no, I mean, great employee for the department and does a great job. So thank you. I'd like to shake your hand, but thank you very much.
It's been great. It was a great opportunity.
Thank you. Stay with us. Yes. Please.
Our next one, Jim George, 30 years.
30.
So Jim and I go way back. I mean, I worked with him when I first came here. You came in pretty much day one within the water department, right?
Yeah.
So at this point, he runs all of our water systems out there. I mean, whenever there's anything going on out there, I mean, 24 hours a day, he is on the phone managing it, you know, making sure that the people have uninterrupted service. Huge asset to our department. And I can tell you, Sean and I sleep better because he's in charge of our water system. I'll tell you that. I mean, he treats it like his own baby out there, which is what you have to do with water and everything. I mean, I think he turned gray when he was about 22. So he's done a tremendous job, always been reliable, and I can always get a hold of him. And I really appreciate what you've done for us. So 30 years. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's been a great place to work, and I have a good team of managers, and it's been good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. The next one. Sean Reese, 30 years.
Who?
I know. You got to stand up for this one. So
He wore his tie too.
I can tell you.
You wore a tie. Oh my
I
God.
got this from Tony Charles.
In all the years I've been here, I don't think I've been more proud of a hire that I've done. Promoting, I didn't hire him originally, obviously. Promoting him because Sean oversees everything day to day in Public Works. I mean, he is phenomenal, and he's the reason why Public Works works so smoothly. I mean, whatever I thought I was going to get when you came on about, what, 8 years ago for the main position, 10 times more. I mean, he's been phenomenal. And, you know, when you treat a department like it's your own and you care about everything, I mean, that's Sean. I mean, every aspect of it, from finances to operations to everything, he takes a personal interest in. I mean, he makes my job a lot easier, and I appreciate everything he's done. So thank you.
Thanks for the comment.
You gotta say something.
No, guys, it's humbling to be here for 30 years. It really is a privilege to be here for that long. I'm proud of what I do. The people that we work with, the service that we provide to the community is second to none. I know a lot of other public works facilities, nobody does it as well as we do, and that's because of the staff, guys like Jimmy and Jim and Nick, and you know, our board. The guidance you guys provide is much appreciated, and it's really been a great career for me. So thank you very much.
I'm just impressed that 30 years ago, the county had the insight to start hiring these people in their early teens.
I also like it. It sounds like one of my, family reunions. Hey, Jimmy, Nick. And then the outsider, Sean. Okay. Let's see. Are there any public comments? No. A motion to approve the minutes of the Public Works Committee meeting of October 6th, 2020. No one wants. Oh, we got it.
Brzezinski moved, I second.
Okay, sorry, I didn't hear that. Any additions, corrections, or deletions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Could I have a motion on the claims report to combine and approve public works and facility
Second.
management? We have motion and second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nay. Motion carries. Could I have a motion item number 6A, which is our intergovernmental agreement between the county of DuPage and the state of Illinois?
Second.
We have motion and second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Just want to let everybody know, this was the one that's lapsed since March. And then with COVID in there, everything's been taken care of. Remember, the committee was comfortable going month to month and they're veterans, so, we're in a good place.
We're good. We have motion on number 7A, item 7A, which is recommendation approval of a contract with Earthwise Environmental Professional Water Treatment Consulting and Management.
So moved.
Second. We have motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
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 Carries. Could I have a motion on item number 8A, which is contract to Verizon Wireless?
So moved. So moved.
We have motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Carries. Could I have a motion on item number 9, which is recommendation approval of a contract with Johnson Controls for purchase and delivery of
Second.
specified Johnson Control parts and replacements. Any discussion?
Yeah, the number of bids and
Yeah,
went out.
I didn't get that this time.
Yeah, I apologize for that, and that's actually my fault, because usually Angela is the one who does it. She's on vacation, so that got dropped in the mix, so I apologize.
There were two bids. The number 2 bidder was $80,000. Point blank, this is not uncommon when you're bidding against the manufacturer of the product. That's what people will blow it off because it's tough to beat the manufacturer when they're bidding on their own stuff.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Carries. Could I have motion item number 10, which is contract to White Construction Service for
Second.
professional construction management services? We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
This is to add the courts that were approved previously at Finance Committee to the contract to build as part of the CARES Act dollars.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Can I have a motion item number 11, contract to Consolidated Machine Corporation?
Second.
The motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
4 bids on that one.
We have 4 bids on that one. We have a motion item number 12, which is a contract to DuPage Radon Contractors, radon mitigation.
Even place it on file as information.
I'm sorry, informational.
Motion placed on file.
Second.
The motion placed on file in a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
On that one.
Any old business? Any new business? 2 more of these. All of us, we are now adjourned.
Before you do that,
No, we're not adjourned.
can I just let everybody know our plan for the fair lease?
One more.
Sorry about that. So there were some changes made at Finance Committee last week. And so instead of coming back to Public Works Committee, we will bring it directly back to Finance and Board for approval next week. Tim has been working closely with Jim McGuire. Let everybody know, it looks like the wording that was introduced by Grant Eckhoff is acceptable. There were some changes in the final one that is acceptable, I think, to both parties. We're trying to get that lined out. And that will be on Finance. So everybody does realize Jim he's absolutely agreed to all of the terms in there. He is going to ask if there'd be any consideration for 3 years instead of 2 years in a lease. Due to COVID, and he will be making that, a letter will be coming from Jim on that, and likely an email that you guys will all see from either Tim or I, that everybody will see the final wording in there that was agreed upon between Grant and Jim McGuire, and in the letter requesting the 3 years. Staff doesn't necessarily have a major concern with the 3 years. It gives us time to negotiate the final lease, but that will be his request from everybody, is 3 years.
But either way, Nick, don't you staff want September 30th as the year end?
September 30th, he just wants three fairs.
But it's not- I know, but it's not 3 years.
Well, you can do September 30th,
You guys want September 30th.
2023.
3 months. You want September 30th
2023.
The lease ends December
Yeah.
31st.
He doesn't care about, and he doesn't care about 3 years, he just cares about 3 fairs.
So it's either 21 or 33 months.
Yes, that's his one request that he has, and he's been very easy to work with for these final 4 issues. So, you know, like I said, staff doesn't have a concern with doing 3 fairs, but that will be up to the board at finance committee to make that decision.
Mary?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My question, when you talk about a longer lease, are we then looking at something similar to the first lease, which was what, 20 odd years, 25 years?
3 years.
Is that what you're heading toward?
So this is a stopgap measure right now for 3 fairs, whether
Okay.
that's 33 months, whatever that is. And then during that period of time, we will continue to negotiate with the fair authority for a longer term lease. There will be outs in that lease for both sides to probably, you know, every 5 years. It's not going to be, it's very clear that no one wants a 30-year, 40-year lease again. It may very well be 30, 40, but there's going to be outs in it that both parties can exercise.
Oh, a 5-year review, for instance.
Sure,
of both
absolutely.
sides.
Because
Okay.
conditions change, everything. 40 years is too long.
Okay. Thank you. Was the first lease 40 years or pretty close to it?
77.
77, I think we went into contract with them.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I think
Thanks.
short term, we should be putting a committee together to look at the viability of the fair, regardless of whether we have the grounds out there. I mean, every year, the financial you got showed this fair pretty much continuing to lose money and going by the wayside. That with Kane County having their, you know, new facility out there and looking at like we did with the youth center, when we hardly had anybody in the facility anymore, and we combined it with the Kane County one because they had a new facility. But we should look at whether the viability of the fair is even there. And then, you know, we can look at how we operate the fairgrounds under a lease and what the best format is. But I think we should look at that in the short term, the next few years, on what to do with that.
I agree. My recommendation, you guys, as I leave, is put something together that talks about what is a fair look for a completely urbanized suburban area in the next 10, 20 years.
That's why I'd rather have a shorter term lease while we decide what the best long-term solution is. And maybe it is a long-term, but you know, if they're not going to have fairs again next year, is the state going to continue to put money out to these fairs? I mean, the only reason he got bailed out, he would have gone under. He had so much debt, was that he got $200,000 from the state without doing a fair.
Right.
That helped bail him out, plus us using the facility, but we're bailing him out with COVID money, paying for our own place. It doesn't seem logical, but.
He has a lease on.
Well, I
Till the end of the
mean,
year.
the one
But
thing.
he doesn't January 1st, and we're still gonna be using that facility.
Yeah.
So we could be using those COVID dollars for a lot better uses to help the public in general than to pay for our own property that becomes ours January 1st.
May I ask the appetite for the 33 months, whether that's something, because like I said, Jim would very much like to move that forward to 33 months. Just with COVID, it gives us time to negotiate. Does that seem like a reasonable request or not? And obviously, I'm just trying to figure out, because he's very anxious about the 33 months.
We can always go back. We can give 2 years. We can always give an extra one. There's nothing, but we can't go back once we give a 3-year. We always have the flexibility of extending it. We do that all the time with our contracts. We offer bid for 3 years, give them a renewal, and we do it next year, but we have the ability to pull it back. If we go 3 years, we can't pull it back if we decide we're going to use it for something, or there are no fairs for 3 years.
Mary, your hand was up.
I agree with Brian's points, Member Krajewski's points, but I think that 33 months or whatever the 3 fairs works out to does give the fair some stability in terms of negotiating other contracts with other vendors. I think an ad hoc committee about what the future of the fairgrounds would probably be a good decision. Perhaps Member Healy or Chairman Healy could propose that to the chairman before you leave, and establish that in December and have a regularly meeting ad hoc committee to look at exactly what we're using it for and its possible potential uses. Thank you.
Yeah, I recommended that we have 6 county board members and 6 members of the public, 1 from each district, because it's a county-wide fair.
And a former public chair, public works.
So I might be happy to serve on. So great.
So everybody can expect an email from us with the final wording prior to the packet. We're just trying to finalize everything with all the parties. So hopefully within the next day or two, you should receive an email.
Okay. Is there any old business? Any new business? Without more, we are adjourned.
Thank you.
Diane's down in Florida.